Assalamualaikum. Hi and welcome to Group 10's field trip video for leisure and lifestyle marketing, MKT511. Before we start, let's get to know with the members of the group first. We have Syafiqah Akmal, Syafiqah Najiha, Nurul Nabila, Nurul Nazira and Nurul Hanani. So, our group has decided to plan a field trip to Malacca as our destination for this assignment. As we all know, Malacca is a very famous destination among tourists thanks to its richness in cultural heritage and also its unique history. Some of the tourist attractions that we have visited are the Museum Penjara Malaysia Melaka, the Jonker Walk, which is a popular spot known for the souvenirs and foods sold here and also its night market, the Stadhash and Christchurch Melaka, which has a historical section that helps tourists to learn more about Melaka, St. Paul's Church, which is the oldest church building in both Malaysia and Southeast Asia, the well-known fortress A Famosa built by the Portuguese in 1511, and lastly, the Malacca Sultanate Palace Museum. Are you ready to take off on a journey with us? Let's go! From Selangor to Malacca took us about 2 hours to arrive by car, and we stayed there for 2 days and 1 night. 3 of our members went on the trip physically, while the other 2 are on a virtual trip. Upon arriving in Malacca, the first destination that we visited was the Museum Penjara Malaysia Melaka. The museum is open from Tuesdays to Sundays from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. and the ticket price for entrance is very cheap, which is 3 ringgit for adults and 1 ringgit for children. Inside the museum, we were able to experience the environment of what a prison looks like on a daily basis and its system. There are exhibitions where they display books of criminal records, the tools and daily necessities for prisoners during their imprisonment period, and also the equipments used for punishing prisoners with heavier offences such as canes. Considering the fact that the museum was a real prison which operated back in the 1900s until June 2010, the experience while exploring the spot was quite spooky, especially while strolling around the prisoner cells, and there were a few places where we were not allowed to take pictures, such as the hanging death penalty section and caning section.
Hi, my name is Nurul Nabila. So now we're going to Jonker Walk. So while we were here, we get to do few fun activities such as walk across the river, and the most fun part is Malacca cruise. It is because we get to see Malacca view from the river side. Plus, you don't have to walk so far to see Malacca beautiful creation. And we went to few stalls at Jonker Walk, and here we get to try some massage thingy and unique things here. For your information, they also got night market here every Friday until Sunday from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. Here we also got a lot of delicious food, souvenir and many things more. But unfortunately, most of the food is non-halal. But it's okay, we get the experience here. So I suggest to you guys to visit Malacca because there are so many things that we can observe more than the history book about Malacca. Okay, that's all from me.
Hello, my name is Nurul Nazira. So today I want to share one of the best places to visit in Malacca, which is St. Paul Church. So basically this is our first trip together with my friends, even though it's just a virtual trip for me, but I still enjoy communicate with them through video call during the vacation. They share me a lot of information and we're having fun visit Malacca together. So I would like to share a little bit about St. Paul Church. It's a beautiful church building in Malacca City. It's originally built in 1521, making it the oldest church building in Malaysia and Southeast Asia. It's dedicated to the Virgin Mary and known as the Nossa Senhora de Anocada. The chapel was built by a Portuguese fidalgo or nobleman. The chapel was deeded to the Society of Jesus in 1548. The chapel was there further enlarged in 1556 with the addition of a second floor, and Belfry Tower was added in 1590. A burial vault was opened in 1592 and many people of distinction were buried there. Overall, I enjoyed to visit a historical place with my friend and I learned a lot from this place. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nurul Hanani binti Muhammad Hanifi. So today, I would like to tell you about Famosa, one of the most intriguing spots in Malacca. Before that, I'd like to state that I was unable to accompany this trip with other friends, but it was not a problem in getting a sense of the experience there because we did it virtually. I had a great time visiting Malacca through video call because I had never been there before, and Malacca is a city rich in history. This trip will not only be enjoyable, but we will also learn about the history of Malacca. The place I want to talk about is Famosa, known locally as Kota Famosa. It all started when the Portuguese built the Famosa in 1511. I'm sure they had no clue it would become one of the Malaysia's most renowned historical landmarks. Famosa means the famous in Portuguese. The stronghold, according to its name, has become one of the most famous tourist destinations in peninsular Malaysia almost 500 years later. Famosa is one of the oldest surviving European architectural wonders in Asia, even though its gatehouse, called Porta de Santiago, is the only part of the fortress that remains standing. They built Famosa as a temporary camp to suppress the attacks of the Malacca Sultanate. The fortress once consisted of long ramparts and 4 major towers. One of the towers was a 60-meter tall 4-story keep, known as Famosa, which was the tallest building in the region in 1512 until it was destroyed by the Dutch in 1641. I think this trip is very worthwhile. Besides being able to calm the mind and have fun, we can gain knowledge about the places in Malaysia. I guess that's all from me. Thank you.
So this is our last destination, which is Malacca Sultanate Palace. It's constructed between 1984 and 1986. The Malacca Sultanate Palace is a modern reimagining of the Istana Royal Palace that must have stood on this spot in the city of Malacca in the 15th century. The palace design based on input from the Malaysian Historical Society and the Artists Association of Malacca is supposed to recreate the istana of the Malacca Sultan Mansur Shah, a structure built in 1465 and destroyed in 1511 by attacking Portuguese force. So, little mention is made of the palace and at the hand of Western powers. After all, Mansur Shah ruled the settlement of Malacca at the height of its political and cultural power, and the palace is at present basked in the reflected glory of the age when the Malays, the majority ethnicity in Malaysia, were unquestionable in a charge. How to getting to the Sultanate Palace? Let's give me your answer. The Malacca Sultanate Palace is located at the foot of St. Paul's Hills, conveniently at the end of a walking trail that leads straight from the ruins of St. Paul Church on higher ground. The immediate vicinity of Sultanate Palace contains other museums covering the history and culture of Malacca and the Malays. For example, is the Stamp Museum, the Islamic Museum of Malacca, and the Malacca Architecture Museum.
So, after we exploring the interior of the palace, you can exit at the central staircase again and head straight for the Forbidden Garden right across the palace, a botanical garden that purports to replicate the medical recreational areas reserved for the Sultan Harem. So, for your information, this place is open every day except on Monday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. But you must pay the entrance fee of 5 ringgit only. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.